join me, Karl?
Yes, yes.
Hi. I get things set up. So it's the yarn wall. I have to turn the light onto it so you can see. Just a minute. Whoop, there. Nella brought up a good point, which I didn't even think about. I shone the light on it when I took the picture of it, and she said, "Well, you know, got to be careful that's not in a light wall because that might ruin it too." Which is a good point. Although this is the inside wall, there's a window there. Sorry, and then there's windows way over there.
But those windows are not a problem because there is ridiculously tall mountains right beyond them.
Yeah, no, there's not. Yeah, I was gonna say we don't get direct sunlight either. Pretty much none. But anyway, so that's what it looks like so far. But one thing I didn't think of, actually, if you open that jar for me and take out one of the weird looking hooks, Karl. If you remember, this board was actually a little skinnier than that one. It's going this way. And then I bought, the hooks were expensive too to get in addition. So I got like a mixed pack to get more, and they had these weird hooks like this. And then they had, which actually goes like that. Great for hanging instruments and stuff. But yeah, so the pegs, they're supposed to be on straight pegs, but I couldn't find a pegboard. So most of them are like round hooks. But actually, as it turned out, I could make up the distance. You can see the bottom of that one. And then this one is kind of an illusion that it's this big, but it's not. You can see kind of in there where it ends. So these long hooks actually worked really well for hanging yarns at the bottom. And these weird looking hooks, for tools anyway, like a hammer or something could hang on it, those are up at the top. So it actually made it a little taller than it was. So now it almost looks like the two pieces are the same size. So I'm happy with the way this looks so far. I didn't have enough screws in the pack to use the rest of these, so I have to, I can buy some screws. And then I can do another one, but I think I'll do another one, but you have to help me out here. Okay, because I like the way this is going, so I'll keep going. This is actually about 2 Rubbermaid bins of yarn, I think, that I got on there, and I have lots more to go. So I could put one there. There's about enough space for one that I could just put up there, or I could start going on this side of the corner. So yeah, this is a Pinterest idea. I'd love to take the credit for all the idea myself, but I don't have it. But this is, maybe this is my stash busting 2025 you're looking at. I have no idea. But this is all the yarn that I chose to put on the wall is the stuff that I will make hats out of, because you'll notice this is the reclaimed wool, for example. And then up there, we've got some other ones. Those ones are thin, the brown, the cognac looking flavored. It's actually called cognac. But I double those and made a hat out of them, and I really like the way they turned out, so I'll make some more. But most of them are really thick yarns and suitable for making Viking hats to put in the shop. So I decided to prioritize those, and then there's some fun ones in the corner there that I don't know what I got to do with those, but that one I can't put in the shop, though. That's the acrylic one I made the scarf out of last year on the Christmas calendar. But anyway, so the idea there was to put the yarns I would use first. So anything I need to make a hat out of or wrist warmers out of for the shop or something, I put them up there. It looks like there's going to be a lot of purple next year. I really am not a huge fan of that purple, but it does look kind of nice. So everybody likes something, right? There's a Karl. In his natural habitat. No, I'll turn the camera around. So that was the plan there anyway, but I like the way it's turning out. I asked Karl, so what do you think? I kind of like it. I've been working on it all day today, or not all day, but you know, the second half of the day. And Karl's like, nah.
It's yarn, woman. And
it's yarn and it's spreading. It is, but it's it started to empty out the bin. But the idea is that it's in my face and annoying the crap out of me. I don't have a moth issue, but I'm always worried of something, so maybe I'll put little moth or lavender sachets up there or something to kind of prevent that. The cats haven't climbed on it yet, but they have quite a jump to reach up to it. But my thought is maybe I will have a sheet along the edge there that I can just roll up and cover it if need be. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See, purples are nice. So it's a periwinkle, actually. So everybody likes something. But I mean, I liked it. I bought a whole bunch of it at one point. That was supposed to be a knitted sweater, but I didn't like the way it was turning out, so I frogged it. Frogged is a knitting term for rip. Anyway, but now that I see so much of it up there, I don't like the color so much as I did before. I think it's just because I have so much of it. But then again, I don't really care for the color yellow, and those ones go fast, or pink. I have no taste. Karl needs a beer.
Yes, I'm here because you promised me a
Yep.
Belgian beer.
Oh, I have a month shawl too. I will put that on in a bit. But first, let's get you a beer. So I noticed that when we sent Tour off to the store with 1,000 kroner and told him to buy beers, Belgian, he happened to find one that Karl hasn't tried yet, and I thought, oh, this will be kind of fun. And then I looked closer. And do you see what makes me smile on it? Where is it? Gluten-free, Karl. It's called Ambre Brunhout Organic Gluten-Free Artisanal Belgian Ale, 6.5%. So, and I have no idea where it's from, but, oh, wait. No. Looks like, well, Belgian, actually.
Well, Belgian beer is supposed to be Belgian.
Yeah, it is. Brassier de Brunholt. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Sometimes they call it. Anyway, so there you go, Karl. You get to. Can Belgians save gluten beer? Get down, Ken.
I strongly doubt it. The gluten-free I've had so far has been everything but impressive.
I'm excited to find out, though. Okay, I'll put to read chat. So we'll see what Karl thinks here. And you're still having luck opening bottles with your knife?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Nella's here. Garcia's here. Garcia's got sun. We have like 6 degrees and rain.
Oh yeah, that was fun today.
Yeah?
It isn't warm enough for the ice that came last night to disappear.
No.
But it's wet enough for it to drown.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of every little puddle in the village, there is sheet ice.
Oh, yeah.
So it's super fun to walk around.
How many times did you wipe out today?
0, but I walk like a 90-year-old, very careful 90-year-old.
He does. I dumped ashes out on the stones this morning. The ashes from the fire.
I see he's hitting the same elbow he always hits when I'm putting bear.
I took ashes from the ice, from the fireplace, and put them on the ice. It's only a little bit of slushy ice, but it's supposed to help against.
It smells strongly of apples.
Really? It's not sweet enough for me to anticipate that you're gonna die. But maybe we get you to go gluten-free?
I just doubt it's...
That is straight out of the dishwasher, by the way. It's got this big head on it. How did you pour that?
Normally.
Oh, okay.
But...
I'll see what you think. Just cleaning me. Let's see.
It isn't supposed to smell like cider.
Well, it's organic, so maybe they used...
Yeah, but use
apples.
different organs, though.
Well, let's see what you think. Bottoms up? No, bottoms up. It's got a nice dark color to it. Darkish.
It's not horrible.
Really? That's probably the first time you've ever said that about organic, or gluten or organic.
It doesn't taste like apples, so that's the first thing.
Yeah?
It smells like apples, but it doesn't taste like
It's got a little sweet smell to it, but it's not...
It tastes like, not a great stout, but like a stout.
Ah, well, it's kind of darker, but you can
really
see through it.
dark enough to be that, but...
You can see through it, so... Karsten is here, and Doro from Flensburg, Germany. Let's see. Garcia's from Holland. Nell is from Finland. Robin's here. That would be Olav. He's Norwegian. 10 degrees and rainy, and he's got the man flu, Karl. Do you have any advice for poor Olav, who is suffering from the man flu, or Siv, who has to deal with it?
Drink water and get rest.
Drink water, get rest. Be nice to Siv.
I believe it's the same procedure when a woman has the flu.
No, we still go to work until COVID came. I don't know, then it's a different thing, but we still get up, do the dishes, make food. Where a man just clutches the floor of the bathroom because it's heated and says, "Save me." Oh. Well, you're doing pretty better. You're doing much better with man flu than my previous man flu patients. And one was to get used one as an excuse to get out of a kid's birthday party once. I think that took the cake.
The only circumstance where I'm a little bit of a pussy when it comes to work is if I can't speak, I can't work.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
I can be perfectly fine otherwise, but if I'm coughing randomly in the middle of every second sentence, I can't do my job. And being some kind of special needs guide that doesn't guide and just sits in a corner and points at things.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's a free man for fuck's sake. You don't need me.
Oh, you poor thing. We still have Freeman, by the way. It's just one of them this week, one house this weekend. But it's nice to see that they're still coming in the winter, so that's nice. Rhonda Hagman's here, by the way. That would be Denver, Colorado. Robert Reynolds is here. I think he's from Scotland, if I remember correctly.
Hangman?
Rhonda Hagman.
Okay.
Not Hangman. She says, what projects are we all working on today? She is, one, finishing hexagonal. I never know how to say that. Blanket for her colleague's baby girl, and then finishing her Nalbinding mittens. Then finish the hats for kids' charity. Oh, good job. I have absolutely made zero progress on my stash busting this week. But I did work a bit on, I don't know where I put it, but my, it's over there. My advent calendar project is still not quite done yet, but it's bigger than I'm thinking. It needs to be bigger than I thought anyway. But I worked on that a bit because tomorrow is the first Sunday in Advent, and then starts Maria Hale's Yule calendar or Advent calendar of needle binding. If you go into Master of Nalbinding, which means a lot of needle binding in Danish, Masser, and then another word of, which is AF, and then Nalbinding. You'll be able to find the pattern there. She should be linking it out on the Facebook groups probably tomorrow, though, too. But you can see from the previous year, and what I didn't realize, it's the 10-year anniversary. My God. It's I don't think I did the first year. I think I joined in the second year. But people will other people will be submitting patterns. In the first parts, it was going 24 days, which I thought was amazing, but now it's like every Sunday. Beautiful kitty there, liking what you're doing with that cat. Pay no attention to the cat. He's bag number one, the first thing to go when we downsize even more. He's an evil kitty. He's evil.
He's a good boy. His problem is just that he likes attention and he understands physics. And the combination of those two things makes him a little bit more than a handful sometimes.
He matches your beard. It's hard to tell where the beard ends and the kitty begins. No, anyway, so check that one out. We've been translating the patterns. They are translated in quite a few different languages. I believe Spanish, French, German, Dutch, of course, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, obviously English. There's quite a few anyway. So, and I think she's trying to get Italian in the mix too. That'll be fun. But there's like a PDF in there. You can go download the language choice you choose. I see a lot of people are taking interest in hoods again. Actually, if you hand me that Joker bag there. It's been a long time since I put these patterns out, but when I was going through yarn, I found the beginning of one. This is a cowl. So I start, when I make a hood, it's all wrinkled up now. It goes like from here. I make it a little bit higher though, because I like to have the neck covered really well. And then make it to about here. And then so for this way down, and then I skip and go up. Actually, I think I already started doing that. Yeah, I did. So the neck is not as big as it thinks. There's a little hole. So there's like 4 stitches chained over, and then it goes right back in again. So you have this little hole there, and then there's a picture on Facebook, and if you wonder why the guy's head is completely covered with the needle binding, it's because he's making a hood. So you put this on, and it should just fit around your head kind of the way it is, but you decide how roomy you want it to be, and you make it until you can pinch the top or hold the top together anyway, unless you want it to be really roomy, then you can go higher. And then when you take it off, you have this big long tube. You fold it in half with this loop here, facing forward. Or I actually do this way, maybe it's easier. And then when the whole thing is flat and you have it flat, you can sew down a little bit on each side before, but you cut right up that way. And then when you open it up again, it'll almost be like a hood, except for you have to sew the top together. And then you have the cut edge that later on you can put a bias or some sort of a finish around it. I just took 2 chains of Oslo stitch and encased it. But that's how the hoods were made. But that is on the needle binding advent calendar. I think it's we found out it was 2018. I'm looking at you like you know. No, but in 2018, and you can find it. It's a picture of Cecilia. Was 6 years ago anyway. One of my twins wearing a red one. That was a little too big for her. It was actually an adult size one, but so you can see how to make it. But it looks kind of fun and cool anyway. But then you know what that was. So now you know why the guy's head was covered, because he's the thing is, it feels like it's too tight for a hood, but you got to remember too, when you cut it, it will be here, so it's actually more room than you think. If you have more height here, then it'll just be more like that. There was somebody else that posted a hood, but she it looks like she made her hood separate and then just attached it underneath the cowl line. So, which was a good idea too. I think somebody made them detachable. Bert also has, he's a Dutch guy. He also has a hood, but his is different. He makes his kind of like this way around. This cat needs to go. He makes it like this way around and then kind of opens up in the middle, so it goes like that. But I think the cut method is just easier. So that's what I do because I'm lazy. According to Weather Kitty app, it's 35 degrees where Rhonda is in Denver. Wow, that's almost freezing. So you're about on par with us, maybe. A little bit colder, actually. But Denver is the mile-high city.
We are over freezing. We are a couple of degrees plus.
Yeah, we're over. So it's 35 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, God.
Your measurements makes no
32
sense.
is freezing. So if it's below 0 in Fahrenheit, that's really cold compared to here.
But I just don't understand. What is the baseline for this way of measuring?
I don't know. It's just what I grew up on. That's what it is. Fahrenheit.
Did he just throw darts at the ball?
You're the scientist. You should know.
I don't, because there is a reason why all scientists, including NASA by the way,
uses
the metric system.
Yeah, no. We have to be difficult. Okay, hey, we'll catch up some more. So James is here. He says, hi, Karin and Karl. I'm working on a pair of mittens in Kaigani plating, and I'm going to start another pair of mittens in Niwaxi. I think he likes to hear me try to pronounce this stuff. That will be really cool to see. I have to look, but it's a sort of weaving anyway, so that he's working on that. So that's quite cool. Let's see. Lyra's here from Kansas. They've got their first snow. We had our first snow about a week ago. Well, not the first snow, but the first one that sat for more than a day. But it's gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's frozen instead. So.
Yeah, no, it's just ice. Susan Youngman's here from back in Frankfurt. Oh, I don't get to say Adirondacks this week, but I'm saying Adirondacks anyway because I like to say Adirondacks. It's much cooler than Duluth, where I'm from. Okay. PJ's here. She's working on 3 projects. One is the jumper with cabling, no pattern, making it up. Good idea. Another is a string bag with a twist loop that she saw in a group. Oh, yeah, I think I know the one you saw. That would look really cool. And Michelle Lind is here from Indiana. She's new, I think.
But I have to say that when it comes to having cool place names from where you're from, I mean, Dale wins.
Because where's Dale's from?
He's from the Iron Range.
Oh, the Iron Range. Yeah, but he's from Evelyn. Iron Range is a section of Minnesota.
Yeah, but if you're from
where all the iron comes
if you're from Evelyn, you'll say that you're from Iron Range if Evelyn is in Iron Range.
Evelyn, yeah.
Yeah.
Evelyn.
That's
where like, all the Finlanders moved.
That's like the Evelyn is like Duluth. It's okay. This is a word that probably means something in some native language.
Well, Duluth is named after Sir Duluth. He's actually French, and then but I don't know what Evelyn is named after.
Maybe his mistress.
Oh God. Prudis here as well. She's in Poland. And Amrose here from Belgium. Look, Karl's drinking Belgian gluten.
This is actually a very odd beer because.
Would you like it?
It smells like apples. It tastes like a stout.
Yeah.
And then you get a strong aftertaste of apples. So it's like sneakily.
Yeah. And you're
I think
surviving.
it's not horrible. It's actually, I hate to say it, but pretty good. So
To put my shawl on.
I don't really understand how you make a gluten-free beer, because the ingredients you absolutely have to have in it is grain.
Yeah. I don't know, but
Contains gluten normally.
maybe. Maybe found a gluten-free plant of grain. I don't know. Let's see. I was going to say there's more here too. Also, Michelle's making hats, by the way. I have to make a lot of hats too. They're always nice to have. Let's see. Oh, Raymond is here from Australia, upside down land. It's 19 degrees in Perth. He's having a happy summer weather. Such a fluff monster. Oh, yeah. Oh, he is. Unless you meant Karl. He's also a fluff monster, too. Oh, Michelle's a beginner. Oh, how are you liking it, by the way? If you need help, there's a lot of help in the Nalbinding groups. I can try to show some stuff here, but it's a bit one way. But also Ann Decker on Sundays does a Zoom. And you can look for the link to that anyway. But you can join, and they go at 2 times a day on... so she can get up. So Raymond can join Upside Down World, and people in the United States can join as well. And then she can, it's actually, because it's on Zoom anyway, she can see you can see her, you can see what she's working on, and she can explain things really, really well. So that's a good one. To join, Men in Kilts Can Spin. He's in Alaska, I believe. Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving yesterday, everybody. Karl, the cat's showing his good side.
The cat's favorite hobby when we are sleeping.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine for him to be on my left side, because then he's not bothering her at all. But he absolutely wants to be on my right side, so he can put his butt directly on her face.
Don't like it. Don't like it. We can try to switch it up and sleep on the other side of the bed, but I'm pretty sure he'll adjust.
He will find the most annoying way to deal with it. This is his superpower.
Raymond is up late, by the way. That's why he's got matchsticks in his eyes. And Audra is, by the way, Audra's here too. Is advising him to stay awake. I like that. And Audra's back from Bali, I believe. She's back in Norway. PJ looked it up. Apparently, gluten-free beers may have been made from things like millet that have no gluten. Maybe it says so on the bottle. Oh boy, I don't know if I have the lighting for this.
It does it in whatever language they decide to speak in Belgium these days. It's either French or Flemish, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to try to work my way through that, but there you go. If it's clear enough to read, Anne can, it says Malt de Bourg or something like that. Anyway, there you go. You'll have to go back and freeze frame to see. But maybe that's it, yeah.
But also, it doesn't pass the fuzzy test.
There's a question for you.
When I'm drinking good Belgian beer, Fuzzy will try to lick it.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Look at him. He's parked his butt on the table again. He knows he's not supposed to be there. So, Karl, we had a good question.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to move the cat. No cats on the table, so that's where food goes. Did you make mayonnaise turkey for Thanksgiving? She was asking. She says, did Karl make a turkey with mayonnaise this year?
No, but even the American forgot about Thanksgiving until it was like half the day was gone.
Yeah, no, we don't really do. I mean, I knew it was coming up. I knew it was tomorrow, which then, of course, but when it was tomorrow, it was about 3 o'clock. Then I remembered it. But it's just Karl and I. So if my kids were here, maybe. But even then, they got to go to school. Everybody's got to go to work. So it's kind of hard to celebrate it.
We can still rub mayonnaise on things, even though you have to go to school.
Not for kids. It's not for kids. No, but my mom showed us she was going to put us through. When we were in the United States, she had decided, and I thought this was a great idea, that she was going to have us do a turkey course. Do you want to explain how that went? She's going to show us how to make a turkey while we were there, and we'd have turkey on my birthday or something. And we did have turkey one day, actually. I think it was a couple days prior.
Really good. But I think what happened, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that your mother thought she was buying a turkey, but she was actually buying like a bag of turkey parts that you could put together to make a turkey.
It was like, I don't know what the hell they did. It was like, a big set, a building block set. It was not like a, because you can get a turkey thigh, and that's still a lot of meat on the thing, and it's like already in a frozen tray thing. You have to just put it in the oven, but instead of doing the whole big turkey, so you don't have to like dedicate your next year to eating all of it. But I don't know what she found because it looked like it had 2 legs. I mean, it looked like a turkey, but it was like they took the boob of a turkey and folded it over under like
Yeah.
this and then stuck a leg out of it. So
This-
she's like, well, what the hell? That's not an actual turkey.
This
A
has to be-
deconstructed turkey, says
Yeah,
Peruda.
this has to be. It's more reconstructed than deconstructed because I've taken a turkey,
It's reconstructed.
pulled it apart, and then put it back together
Just gonna-
again into a turkey-like shape that is not a turkey.
They even managed to recreate the hoo-ha so you could stuff it. It was like, so my mom's like, okay, I'm going to show you how to make a turkey. And she's like, well, what the hell is this? He didn't even have a bag of giblets or anything like that.
Yeah, and this is not something the Americans do to confuse the foreigners.
No,
This
I
is
thought this
something
was
the
great.
Americans do to confuse themselves.
I told her, okay, so now you're going to show us how to make a turkey, and this is what we have to work with. But she rubbed it with mayonnaise. She did.
Yeah. No, it was super good. Your mother obviously
Yeah, she
has
made-
some mayonnaise skills.
But then she wanted to cheat and not make gravy, and usually just goes to the grocery store and will buy. They have some gravy that's already made. But they didn't know, and I hadn't seen this in the United States before. But then again, I hadn't been back in the grocery store so very much in the last 10 years, but probably only twice in the last 10 years. But she actually found turkey gravy in the bag. She's like, what in the heck is this? The sauce pack. It's supposed to be turkey gravy, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just the seasoning or something. And I said, oh no, that's like we have in Norway, but it's just add water and milk or something to it if you need to, and it's a sauce pass and it was sauce package in it. Because that's kind of what we do a lot of here. I mean, you can make it from scratch, but brown sauce is just so easy. You just add water. IKEA turkey, maybe, I don't know. We don't have an IKEA in Duluth.
That's
but...
one thing that actually impressed me in America. Is
Yeah.
almost all, not all, but most of the shops in America are super nice.
Yeah.
As in, they smell good,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
super clean, they're roomy, they
They're big.
are visually appealing, so to speak, and they have everything you can conceivably need
They
in
have
the
turkeys,
category
but-
of the shop.
Oh yeah.
So, like the sporting goods shop with all the guns,
Yeah.
I could probably spend hours in there just walking around.
Oh
and
yeah,
looking
you
at
went
stuff.
to, was it Cabela's or something like that? We were killing some time, and I'm like, oh look, it's a sporting goods store. Hey, they've got like a lynx and an elk and a bear and a fox, and let's go in here and take a look. And oh my God, the guns! So Karl just was like,
And I was there to buy sunglasses, and I
we were looking to see if they had sunglasses. Yeah,
bought their cheapest set of sunglasses.
yeah, for
and
like
it cost
$70.
$60.
That guy saw you coming. Where are those sunglasses, by the way? I told you you had to take care of them. Put
I
them
saw
on.
them
Show
a
the world.
moment ago.
Yeah, they are. They're up by the basket. Go put them on. Let's show everybody what $70 looks like on Karl. A Viking that's too cool for turkey. That's right. Back off, ladies. He's mine.
And that's also a weird thing because was in the St. Paul area.
Yeah, it was
And
in the Woodrow. Yeah.
it's pancake flat. It's like
Woodridge.
Denmark.
Yeah.
And the sun comes up, and as everybody kept telling me, it was
Cabela's, yeah.
unseasonably warm and the weather was super nice.
Oh yeah.
But when the sun comes up, you have it directly in your face.
Because
if
it's
you are,
well, yeah, because you're not used to the mountains. It's flatter there.
yeah.
Southern Minnesota. Yeah.
So, what blows my mind is that the locals are not using sunglasses. Well, maybe they have sunglasses in their cars, but when they're walking around, they're not using them. They're just squinting a lot.
Yeah, but we were also there at the, it was fall
The
too.
only guy I saw that had sunglasses was the biker guy in the electronics shop that
Oh yeah.
everybody was worried that somebody was blackmailing him because he was buying gift cards.
He went to buy a gift card at Best Buy. The biker guy comes in the store and the guy asks him, so are you buying this for you or who's this for? I have to ask just in case. And he's like, the hell does it matter to you what I'm buying the gift card for? I want a gift card. Anyway, but it was, a big long story. I think
Apparently, there is a thing where people force people to go in and buy gift cards for them because the gift cards
yeah,
are
that was it. Are
untraceable.
you being forced to buy this car against your will? I think is the question. The biker
Yeah.
guy's like,
But he was the only guy I saw with sunglasses.
yeah, that's true. He has sunglasses, but he's a biker guy. He has to be cool.
Yeah.
But they are nice
So
sunglasses.
it's
that you
me
got.
and the biker guy who are the only people in America with sunglasses.
Peruta has linked Andecker's Zoom on there, so you should check that out if you haven't. It's really good. I would, it's on Sundays for me, which is not a good day because I'm working. Yeah, Raymond says, it's a turkey from Wish or Shine or AliExpress turkey. Maybe it is. I don't know. It was really good, though. She made it. And we made the powder sauce, and it turned out so good that she sent the rest of the packages home with me. But apparently she hadn't seen that before. She didn't know what that was. They just add water sauce mixes. But one of the things I did before moving to Norway is I think I got to, you know, geez, I'm getting married. I'm going to have to learn how to cook, I suppose, or at least give it a good old college try. So I tried to learn how to make sauces, and they're not turning out that great, or they're, you know, good enough or something, but they taste mostly like cornstarch and flour because I was doing it wrong. And then when we go to the grocery store, all I see is, I ask, where do you have the stuff for sauce? And it's all, like, there's a whole shelf of sauce packages, just add water, maybe milk and butter. And I thought, well, then that was pretty much the last time I learned how to make sauce.
It's like just iced coffee is like 6 to 10 meters of shelf space.
Oh, in United States, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about in Norway, the sauce packages, because all these just add water instant sauces. We didn't have those in the United States when that was one of the few things, but they had it here, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to try to make gravy anymore.
Yeah, no, that's it's the Toro.
Yeah, it's Toro and Knord and some other ones. There's some German ones too. Anyway, but it was quite a cool thing. But apparently that was a new one for my mom. She didn't know that you could. Well, I don't even know if you could in the United States. But
and that's the thing Norwegians love. It's if you can just add water to something and it works, we are very happy.
Knorr packets. Okay, yeah, so I would say Knorr, but yeah, Knorr, or however you want to pronounce it, Knorr. So Rhonda's heard of it. Yeah, that's like, I think it's a German company or something, but they sell them here, but I know I can get them in Austria and Germany and Poland when we were down there. So they're all over. Wow, what did you do? It smells.
Percy, did you?
I mean, and the litter box is like way over there.
Did you do something bad?
Did something really stinky. Let's see what else we've got here. Another thing I was going to say about the yarn up there. When Nella was talking about the light, which is, you know, if it would fade it or not, which I think is a really good thing to take into consideration. But one thing I did actually intentionally, but I wouldn't do it with these though, is I had some yarn that was kind of it was just very plain moss green, and I kind of wanted to add some depth to it, and I had a lot of it, so I skeined it like this, and then I put it in the sunlight for a couple of weeks or so, direct sunlight in the middle of July, intentionally to try to get it to fade a little bit. And I should have left it for much longer because it had this really kind of cool speckling effect when you were using it. But that would be an example of using the light intentionally. So it might not be bad if they did get sun bleached or light an issue, but you'd have to kind of want to do that intentionally, not on accident. But I never did get to see how those turned out, though. They're probably in a bin in the other room. I skeined them anyway. I thought maybe they needed more light. But a little bit of sun dyeing. I skipped over a whole bunch here, I think. Okay, so the stitch of the week. Oh, there you are. I see Max is here too, currently working on Coptic Tarim stitch by working on a flat piece. That's quite cool. I tend to work in the round because I'm lazy. Then I don't have to think about the sides or if I counted my stitches or. But we can try that tomorrow. We'll give that one away already. So Coptic Tarim, the one that Max is using, will be the stitch for December, because tomorrow is December, and then they have to wait a whole week to try the stitch of the month. So the stitch of the month for December will be Coptic, and that's the one that looks like a garter stitch in knitting or stockinette stitch on one side. Actually, you can do front and back. So that will be a fun one. I haven't done that one in about 2 years, I think. So it'll be good to see.
The delay on the screen there and the screen there is much lower than it used to be.
Yeah, it seems to be going faster. If I'm real quick, I can see the side of my face. See? Anyway, now I'm reading the chat here too, though, and I see I did skip a bunch. Rhonda says, my dad was born in Colorado, which is basically a wide spot in the road, laugh out loud, but I grew up in Hill City, Kansas. There was because we have more than one from Kansas here. And then Robin says, no beer today. Or I just have cola and spiced rum. Okay, well, that'll help with a cough. If depending on how bad your man flu is, but a sore throat, the spiced rum will really help. A little bit of honey in there, too. Old-fashioned cough medicine.
Yeah.
You would take rum, and my grandpa would do this. Born in 1925, he was born. He would put spiced rum with and like half of it would be honey, and then the other half spiced rum, and he would put it in the microwave for 45 seconds, and that was his cough syrup.
Yeah. Now, I have had mixed effects with using strong liquor as a cough syrup. Because, and this is me being not scientific at all, but my kind of schema in my head for what happens is that when you kind of flush your system with alcohol, you kill both your immune system and the bacteria. And then you have a arms race about who gets back on their feet first.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get a lot better. I get fine. I just have cognac or whiskey or whatever, and I'm fit for fight next day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it directly kills me. I've just turned off my immune system, and the bacteria goes, "Ha, alcohol, we've seen it before," and then I'm just as bad or worse.
We've seen this before, especially because you're no longer a Saturday alcoholic.
Now,
you got a long ways to go before you hit that, but I was going to say...
I have to say...
You've been spreading them out a little bit
I'm
now.
drinking a lot more now than I used to.
Yeah.
But compared to when I was actually drinking, this is nothing.
Oh, college years, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody seems to remember the college years for very much that reason.
No, the reason I don't remember the college years is very much those reasons, yes.
Yes, yes.
And in Norway, you have this very stupid tradition that kind of... it is so counterproductive that it's brain-numbing. But we have something called russetid, which perfectly overlaps with the most important exams of your life. And in this period, you are expected to be drunk and be up all night. Like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I was.
Jeez. Heidi Lisa's here, too, and Suze is here, by the way. I saw where I missed it. Yeah, now they're seeing lots of yarn, and now those on pegs. Yeah, and that one we discussed. And then... there was another thing, Lyra says, what a good idea. Boyfriend might have a job to do soon. Laugh out loud. So Karl's job was to hang the pegboards. And then I had to put all the damn things on the hangers. So the couch has a nice dip where I've been stepping in it for the last 5 days. But I like it. I like it. It's the idea or the concept, I want to see if it works, though, is that if it's in my face and I'm constantly seeing it, I'll be more inspired to use it rather than... yeah, so I don't know. If it's in my face, I'll remember that I have to use that. So
do you want to have
instead of out of sight, out of mind, this is in sight, constantly.
Do you have what I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
You are going to decide, okay, I'll make a light blue hat. And then you take the light blue yarn from over there.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the gap and think, oh, I need to close that gap.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely no way in this universe that you will just go across the hallway into your great yarn storage and get some yarn. So you're just going to buy more yarn.
No, I will. I still got the 2 bins here I'm emptying out. There's like, well, actually, I brought 4 bins of yarn in because the last time I went into the other room there, I grabbed out just about every yarn I thought would be good for making hats. That's how I have that up there. Yes. See, I'm doing it. I didn't go and get new. Well, I did get some new yarn out of there, but that was to give my kids so they could learn how to knit.
She's going to buy a lot of yarn.
No, I didn't buy too much yarn this year. I actually have been doing pretty well since having to move all this stuff because it's always in my face now. It's yarn everywhere. But if I needed yellow, or now my kid wants a Spider-Man hat.
Just so you know,
I don't have red.
If I was spending as much money on guns as you are spending on yarn, I would be on terrorist watch list a long time ago.
So stash busting, Karl. How is your stash busting going? All 1,000 points of orcs. How's that going?
I can pint a stompa in a day.
Yeah, but when's that day gonna happen? 30 days have gone by, Karl. This is the. I did the math. I've got 398 grams of my 645 gram
Yes,
goal.
probably not today, but I really don't get the impression that Albert is breathing up my neck either.
How you doing, Albert, on your stash busting? How's your 1,000 points of Warhammer orcs going? So you can stash bust anything. And it's not too late to join, by the way. If you haven't begun stash busting, you just set aside a little amount that you want to use. This might be overzealous amount. No, so, and then you weigh it. So what I did is I actually have this.
If I'm not mistaken, Albert, you will probably know this.
I
The
did more than I
Imperial
thought.
Guard Codex is coming out.
Oh, that's not good. We're going to need more knickknack shelves to put them on.
Because I kind of want a second army. Can't just have
So,
one.
okay, so if you haven't caught this before, I have that going, and I still have a lot of shelf to fill. Let's see if we can zoom here. Oops, there we go. Karl has these to fill up with orcs. So he's making some pretty good, he's taking some corner space too. Note it's not in direct sunlight. There. But yeah. No, so the stash busting, I set aside 645 grams. This time I did, actually probably would have been 650 if it was full skins, but I don't know if they are or not. I went purely with thick yarn to make hats with, because I need to make them for the shop anyway, so this time I was going to double up. So look at that little cat. He's going to knock, can you pick him up? He's going to knock the whole basket on.
Let's see.
He like finds like a little space on the table, sits in there and just spreads out until everything falls on the floor.
No, he wants to push things on the floor.
He wants to push things on the floor.
Great objective.
So anyway, I have one hat that is a good start, but not quite done yet. And then I have this much yarn left, and then I've used it all. Although I did end up knitting some, which we showed. And then I made my kid a kitty cat hat. That, by the way, we can show. Oh, I have it here. So I decided to put gray on the bottom. But then this was actually the way I started. I started at the bottom here, and then it goes straight up like a tube. And then you kind of sew the top together when you're happy, and then it's done. I wanted to have so I decided I'll have a brim on it for hers, but I'm going to have to flip it upside down. So now my top is here. And then there was one, I think it was, Nikki said that you, instead of, because you can do this back and forth if you want to, and then sew it together. But she said you could also make it as like a pouch. And just start with the seam at the bottom, and then you won't have to sew it up later. The reason why didn't I not do that? I forget.
Why didn't I not do that?
Why did I not do that? I don't know. But there was a reason I didn't, but I can't remember what it was anymore. So I will show, let's see if we use this. Maybe it says too thin of a needle for this yarn. I need better. I'll show you how I'll stitch it up. This is the same thing I do with the tops of ponchos. Let's see if I can put this down. Oops, other way. There. Is it turned? There. Maybe that'll work. It'll be a bit sideways though. But at least I can somewhat see in the computer screen there if it's in or not. So the other thing is I should have a little bit of pink yarn to sew it up, but I'll just rip that out of something later. This is actually the wrong side. This is the right side. So what I would do is where my middle ends off at, if you can see that there, I would put that in the middle. And then I would sew from here to here. So that kind of gets hidden in the back. And then there's my top. This is my start. But so now I'm going to do it upside down because the pink needs to be on top. She wants a pink kitty cat hat. So then I had... But I don't have the pink yarn for it, so I have to use this brown. Or this gray. But I'll show you how I sew it together. It's the same as I do on a hood. I'll probably pick this one out, though, and finish it off with the pink. So anyway, find it your halfway point, and then you're just going to go underneath like shoelace. There's a bunch of different ways. You can just whip it across if you want to, but I kind of... Let's see if I do it that way, actually. Is it still in view? Maybe if I turn it this way a bit. Oh, that failed. Like there, maybe, and then I can hold it here. Yeah. So then I can tuck the tail in somewhere. And then I went under this one, and then I'll go under that one. Let's see. Oh, I know my computer screen is turned up, so okay. Trying to watch myself in the computer with a delay and go at a weird angle. Okay, so now I'll go on this side, so top of that one. Yep. And then pull through. And then I'll go back to this one. I've been in that loop. So top of that one. And it kind of has like a little weaving effect. Now the other side. Oops, there we go. And then to this side again. There. And if I did the same color yarn, this would be, it almost would look like the Nalbinding just continued. But when I sew the top of hoods, I do it this way. Or if I put the binding on those, sometimes I'll just use sewing thread because I don't want it to be thick. So it looks like this is showing up okay. But you just keep going back and forth like that, and it'll have this effect. So imagine if that was the pink, it would almost look like you almost wouldn't be able to see that at all. And I think actually I might continue and do this in the gray because I kind of like the look of it. And when it's on her head, it'll be at the top of it anyway. The ears will look like there. It'll look like ears there. There. Yeah, you can see it kind of. So if I put it on my head, let's see. Turn it down. There we go. Ooh, it's warm in here. We don't even have the fireplace going. I don't know if I made it big enough, but I'm just gonna keep going down the gray anyway. It's a little tight on my head, but it'll stretch out a bit. But she's a kid, so it'll go like that anyway. It'll kind of, when it goes together in the middle, it'll be like that, and it makes like little kitty cat ears, which is what she wants. So there you go. No political part about the hat at all anyway, if you recognize the pattern, but it's because it's gonna have little kitty cat ears, and that's what she wants. But I think with the gray bottom, it'll be okay because it's pretty much going to be all brim anyway. But that's how I'm going to sew the top together. Yeah. But you can play around with stitches and see when you sew things together what it looks like. But I think this is quite nice. And then on the inside, it would be a bit like that. Okay, then I have, I was going to show my mom's shawl. Okay, I'm digging down in the bin of shawls. This one she made, closer to 10 years ago. If you can see the pattern there. Don't know. There. It's a lacy one. And I believe she used, oh crap, it's the name of a Kalani or something like that. There, I forget the name of the yarn. It's with a K and it's like self-striping. Thinner yarn, 100%. Well, maybe it's German. Somebody knows what that's called anyway, but I just suddenly lost the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. This one, when we were talking about blocking, though, by the way, also in recent events, this would have to be steam blocked. Otherwise, this end would be kind of curled up and look like this when it's knit, but when it's done, if you steam block it, it gets it to stay flat, and it'll always be like that. Unless I store it in a box or something. But this one, believe it or not, she starts, I think this is the start row in the middle, and then it just keeps growing like that until you get a point at the end. So there you go, showing off another one of Mom's shawls. You know what though, the Noro shawl, the prayer shawl one, I had to fix that. I didn't realize until after I took it off that it was starting to get a little holes in it, a couple little holes. And then I couldn't find the same, well, I didn't want to take the time to look for a closer matching thread. I just wanted to get it fixed before it grew because this is in Tarsha. There you go, there's one. So it's patched like that for now, and maybe later I'll take the patches out, but that's a patch. And then, County, thank you, it's County. Well, I knew Nella, somebody would figure it out. Gold prize, and Nella gets the carrot. Because she knew the answer. It's Connie, well, I think they say Connie in the United States. I've been saying County because I'm pronouncing everything like a Norwegian. There was another repair. But it won't fall apart anymore. It's all fixed now. But I don't know if that's just something to do with the Noro, that it was like extra tasty in storage, or what. But or maybe it got caught on something too. I don't know. I think there was 3 places anyway, and then I had to sit. Oh nope, there's another one. See, I gotta look. I gotta find out where that is. But if I'm, yeah, it's right where it's changing anyway. So I'll catch it with an embroider. I think it's because sometimes this yarn goes thin and thicker, but I don't know what happened, but I'm repairing it. If I can't do what's called a grafting stitch, which is a little bit easier said than done, then I'll do like weaving with a sock mender thing.
It's right in the corner, so if you have worn it as a cape, you might have used a needle or something to close it.
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't usually use a needle on these, but then I've got, but you can, no, that's I think where the yarn is woven in or something. Because some places it's thicker and some places it's thinner. I don't know how much that shows. If I do like this where we have a light, let's see, there you can see myself on there. If it shows up at all. Some places the yarn, no, that's where it's crossing. I gotta find a good example. There, the yarn is a bit thicker down here than it is up there. Noro has the hand spun effect, yeah, so Snella. It's got a lot of raw silk in it too, so trying to find another good spot where you could see where the, there's another one that you can see where the wool goes thick and thin. See, there's kind of like some thicker rows in there, and then it gets a little bit thinner. It's just because of the hand spinning that it has some sections like that. But it's possible that the one that became a whole was part of the thinner one, or it's possible that maybe there's a bug. I don't know. I've had this one for a long time. There's no bugs on it now though, but anyway, if I catch it early enough, I can fix it. So, but I see that one, and it's right where the knitting goes from this way and then Tarsha this way, so I have to fix it before it kind of goes in between. And then I can do that. But anyway, that's a little oh, that's gonna bug me. Well, I'm glad I caught it now anyway. So if this one had gotten holes like that though, this is a lot harder to repair because it's lace knit, which is, I know how to do lace knitting, but oh my god, to repair lace knitting is like reinventing the wheel. Oh, you found cat number 2.
Yeah, no, they work in shifts.
Yeah. There you, oops, wrong way. I was going to try to show off cat number 2. There he is, Godzilla.
This one is Karen's favorite cat.
Yes.
He's a little bit more polite and standoffish than Fuzzy.
His name is Godzilla.
So this ferocious. One generally won't try to headbutt your arm when you're pouring bear.
No. But
he will occasionally close your computer if he doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah, no, he does that. He closes the laptop if he doesn't get enough attention. He'll also jump on you immediately when you come home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he climbs people.
But they have shifts. So when I come home, he is the first one to greet me. If I sit down, Fuzzy will take over. If I pour a Belgian bear, Fuzzy will absolutely headbutt my elbow.
Yeah.
When I go to bed, Fuzzy is the one that is stepping on my face. And this one really loves the high ground. So he will find a high vantage point somewhere and then just kind of watch what we are doing.
Yeah, he was up there a couple of weeks ago on YouTube too. By the way, Anne Moreau comes up with a rather, I should have thought of that myself, answer. Well, apparently the beer is made in Brunehout, hence the name Brunehout. If I'm not, it's right on the beer. Do you need another one now? Or are you good?
Yeah, no, I can easily drink another
I did bring him a second one because I also noticed another new Belgian beer that Tor had managed to found. It's called Bière Nationale gluten-free. I didn't know they could. It was a good idea. We might have to give him a little bit more of a shopping order now, a little shopping bounce. We just say, I don't know, just buy 1,000 kroner worth of Belgian beer. Whoever's going to the place with the liquor store in it, Voss. So he comes back with some new Belgians. One was the Creek, and we saw how well that one went. And then then I just noticed yesterday there's 2 gluten-free beers in there. I thought I recognized it because the bottle's the same shape of this other one. He gets a lot of another. That's not. So you can see if you want to have that. I'll keep catching up on chat here, by the way.
I'm trying to find out if it's alcohol in this.
Oh, Max is, by the way, a little bit earlier. I'm thinking about making a flag of the New Mexico using Coptum Terum stitch, since basically 2 colors are easy. The main one is yellow and some of the red. I'm not familiar with how the New Mexican flag looks, but you can with stockinette stitch you can apply knitting, the grafting of knitting anyway. So you can when you have your basic structure done, that's all kind of just knit if it's
Well, I
glatt
assume
streak
it looks
or
like the Mexican flag, but it's newer and brighter colors.
okay. And then no, but you can once you have your basic background done, you can actually, if there's like an object in there, not just like a pure stripe or whatever, you can actually go and stitch on top, follow the threads on top as you go through with another color, and it'll just sit on top of the old one. And it's I want to call it grafting, but it's actually duplicate stitch, or duplicate stitch, or duplicate stitch. That's what it's called in knitting, and you can see how they do that and apply the same concept to your needle binding. And you can put little diamonds and whatever you want on there.
And now the bear pouring cat has returned.
I think he wants your beer.
He's checking it out. He only wants the good stuff, so I don't think he wants this one.
Let's see, I have to skip ahead
like
now.
Soap.
Does it? Oh, I don't know.
I'm skeptical.
It's not bad, but it's kind of like an antiseptic smelling beer. Can you taste the gluten?
Tastes like soap too.
Can you taste the lack of gluten?
When you're taking a bath and you use the bubble bath thing that gives you like
Bubbles?
this much foam on top of your bath.
That's called bubble bath.
Yes?
Yeah.
That's what I called it, the bubble bath thing.
Yeah.
When you drink the bath water, it tastes like this.
You're gonna drink bath water.
It's not good.
All right, give it to the cat.
The cat food has a good taste, so he won't take it.
Never tried interlock knitting. You know what? I haven't either. Well, maybe once. I think when I was learning all these different things on how to knit anyway. But interlock, what was I calling it? I think I was calling it something else. But I haven't. I mean, I think I did just to try it, but I didn't want to go into a big project or something. It looked like more energy than I wanted to devote to it. The cats are just. There's the other cat. Cat number 2 is now on the table and doing this soon. I'm gonna lose my basket's gonna launch. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I have this little basket with tools in it, and I'm afraid he's gonna knock it off the table. And then my scissors and things will go flying. Let's see. I'm getting beer for Steve now. Oh, good. Olaf is getting all better now. Drink the bath water, says Olaf.
I can probably force myself to drink it, but it's really not good.
Yeah. Isn't what the Noro shawl is. Yeah, the Noro shawl, that's a hand-spun one. This is interlock. What did I call it? I think I was calling it Intarsha. Unless that's 2 names for the same thing. Yeah, I think that is interlock. I think interlock and Intarsha are the same. I'm going to have to look that up now. It's going to bug the crap out of me. Let's see. Interlock. Yep, it's interlock. Now, what is Intarsha? Oops, Intarsha knitting. Ah, you know what? Intarsha is where you're changing the colors. Yeah, you're right. Okay, this is interlock, if you're knitting. Intarsha, I have to show you a picture of it. It's where you're changing colors, but you're not grafting it in afterwards, or the duplicate stitch. There you go. That is the back side. That's the front side. So where you're changing colors, but you're, yeah. That would be Intarsha. I don't know. We're all needle binders anyway. Yeah, that's a way of doing the switch so you don't have to carry the yarn on the back side. So, okay, anyway, we have the Stitch of the Month was last one with variant G. So if you haven't seen it, it's a bit like Moment. I can show it. Let's see if I can put this down this way. I hit the microphone. I suck, sorry. But at least I figured it out. Okay, I don't know when it cut out, but we were talking about the stitch of the month is variant G. So I'll show that one more time if you haven't done it. It's a mom and stitch. We were thinking about next year, though. Next year, 2025, when I say we, I mean me. We've had the stitch of the month and the color of the month, but I'm thinking I've got these little samples because I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I should. I want to. It looks really nice. It's just not high on my priority list. So we're going to have to make Nell really happy and maybe do a whip of the month. A whip, if you don't know what that is, WIP, it stands for work in progress. It means it's something that's just not done, it's hanging. And I've got a lot of these hat starts, including one up on the wall there that's wrapped around a skein of yarn. So I should finish them. Every time I demonstrate a stitch, I have a new whip because it hasn't been in my method of things I need to fix right away. Okay. Anyway, actually, I could zoom in a little bit for this, but hopefully you can hear now anyway. All right. So there you can see a little bit better. So this is like mommin, variant G. Mommin means you're working over the last 3 loops. Loop 1, 2, 3. There's my hair in there. Or not, it's your hair, Karl. So it was your hair that got in my needle binding.
I would be surprised.
Oh, it's yours.
Possible.
It's yours. I know it is. Just the right amount of gray. No. Anyway, so you got one on your thumb, and you're going to use 2 loops behind your thumb, just like you would with mommin. And this is a Finnish stitch. But your connection is not on the top like you normally do. Your connection, you can see I've been through that one, is like, it's actually M1, which is one middle one, and then F1, which is one front one, or you can basically go under the braid on the edge here too if you want. So M1, F1, when you do that join and then finish it off like Mobbin or Corrigan, 2 behind the thumb, 1 forward and under the leader yarn, let's see, and then pull through, that's variant G. And I've got yarn barf here. Sorry, there we go. Oh, I gave myself too much tail on my, not enough tail on my needle. But that's what variant G is. So what do you think about work in the progress of the month? Nella says if you knit X, is it knit times 2 together? Well, K2 tog, I would say. Knit 2 together, turn, purl, back, turn, and knit. Oh, knit X amount of stitches, yeah. And then you knit 2 of them together at the same time, kind of the same way you decrease in needle binding, actually. Then you turn, and then you purl, which is basically knitting backwards, or vrang, and then turn, and then you do the same thing again on the next one. It's to do interlock. Let's see. You can look in chat as to how she spelled interlock. I have a knot in my needle yarn here. It's driving me nuts. I noticed my yarn, I've been carrying this project around for a month, so it's kind of starting to get a little felted. I will get this. He is not. He's a monster cat.
The bathwater actually passed the fuzzy test.
The bathwater? Did he drink it?
Look at this.
Oh, God, just a minute.
I'm not giving him anywhere near enough to get drunk, but look at this.
Well, at least it's gluten-free. Why are you feeding the cat beer? Jeez. Okay. He's a gluten-free cat now. Oh, my face is all flushed. It's definitely warm here. Let's see. There we go. Then I'll show it one more time here now that I got my yarn sorted. So
he's usually very picky. So for some reason,
you are not allowed to give beer to the cat.
Me and Fuzzy disagree about beer.
So there you go. So this one we've been in. So you have to do M1 and then F1. M1, F1, middle one and front one, and then the 2 in the back. Let's see, did I get 2? Yeah, there I got 2. And then under the 1 forward and under the leader yarn, and that is variant G. So there you go. Now you knew a new one. And if you did a thicker yarn than mine, you wouldn't. We've discovered this month that if you use a thicker yarn than mine, then you won't get the big gaps in between. I think PJ posted a picture of where it was much more together if it was a thicker yarn. Or you could tighten it to the needle, and that'll eliminate that too. Oh yeah, so now you know. Well, there you go. Rhonda learned a new stitch too. So that's the idea anyway. It doesn't mean you have to make something necessarily in it, but it's kind of cool to take a look at new stitches. Let's see, the yarn goes. The thing goes that way. There we go. But yeah, it's just a different connection. But you can actually apply that M1 F1 connection to any stitch and just see what it looks like. Could be fun. So we are actually a little bit over an hour now. You ready to eat?
I can eat.
You can eat? Do you have any good Viking stories to tell? We haven't done Viking in a while, except for the fact that you're in Viking when you come home.
Just ask me anything and I'll come up with a creative answer.
Yeah. Ask him anything. There was a Draugr question about a Draugr in a room that was sitting over somebody, I forget.
You're not giving me enough information here, woman.
No, there was a story. It was mythology, but it involved a Draugr. And I think I've heard Greg tell the story once or twice. It was, oh, I know, it was Drea who had it. Let's see, I have to go and find my messages. By the way, I think also that Tina might have found somebody to do, to host a Nalbinding event, international Nalbinding convention or something, maybe in Nebraska. So if you're interested, but you know, it's a big country too, so more the merrier. So if you know anybody who wants to do a needle binding festival in the United States, there's a lot of interest in people attending one. So you can send me a message and I'll forward it to Tina Vester. Unless you have Tina Vester already, if you can see her in the some of the Facebook groups.
If it is at the practical time of year, we can attend.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. We might actually be able to make it in August this year, to the one in Denmark. That would be quite cool. But the United States one would be really cool to attend. You have to update your passport.
Yes.
Yep. So, and then Sally Pointer is doing one with like prehistoric age textiles with looping, and that one's in Wiltshire, England, which is home of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
That one I want to attend, but I have to get my work to cover.
I'm not prehistoric. In worst case, I'm Dark Ages. I'm not prehistoric.
I don't believe him. He looks pretty prehistoric to me, don't you think? Look at him. Yeah. You can go to the armory just north of there. And while I do that. Okay, there was a quick let's see. I was going to see if I could find the story real quick.
If I can manage to get this woman with me to the Royal Armory in Leeds.
Yeah, we will do that.
I will bore her out of her skull, but I will have fun.
I have needle binding. I can do it anywhere. It fits. Let me see. There it was. She wants to focus on Viking ghost stories. She's heard one of a man sealed in a tomb with a Draugr for 3 nights, and now she's hooked. Do you know that story? Or was it Greg who told that one?
That was almost certainly Greg who told that story. But
well, what do you know about it? And then we'll go after that. So.
I don't know a lot about it. I suspect it is from Anders the Blacksmith's favorite saga.
Yeah. By the way, Robert says the armories are fantastic. Robert Reynolds.
What's the name of the saga again?
Not good. PJ's nodding off. Excite her with a Draugr.
Yeah, but I can't tell a Draugr story I don't know.
Okay. We'll just read it. Do you want to work on it for next week?
I can.
Yeah.
But,
we need to do Viking. We haven't done enough Viking since the village is too dark.
I'll just... I can pull a random story from my ass, but if I'm locked on to Draugr, there isn't... I only have really one good Draugr story, and that's the one I've told before about...
Not too long ago.
The possessed cow.
Oh, that was in October, yeah, and we told that one it was a little bit after Halloween, I think. Raise your hand if you want him to pull one out of his ass. I think that would be fun, too. Then we'll just make it very clear you're making it up. This is a Draugr out of Karl's ass story.
I'm not... If it's Draugr stories, I will have to read up on them.
I want to hear a Draugr story.
I know so many stories about the Viking Age that I could just... Almost every time a tourist asks me any question whatsoever, I have a story that fits with the question.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily Draugr related. They're related to whatever question I'm being
No, I
asked.
want to hear an ass story.
An ass story?
Audra says, ass. We want to hear you pull one out of your ass.
I don't.
And then you could just say, disclaimer, this is from Karl's ass. There's no other find.
I'm not making shit up. So when I pull something out of my ass, it's based on something I remember from reading about it.
Oh, Arlene is here, by the way. She said she just got home. She put out a 50. I was put my 56-inch TV on the wall by myself, so I'm late. I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta say, Karl, that yarn thing is a lot easier than putting up a 56-inch TV on your wall. So there you go. You got off easy. Poor Arlene had it.
Except that I have to deal with my father's TV on a
yeah.
relatively even.
And 56 is
regular
looking kind of
basis.
small compared to that thing.
It's monstrously big. I don't remember the measurements of it, but it's like a wall.
Yep. If you have bad vision, just get a bigger TV. That's what his father did. Okay. Term is simple looping. Or the term find is simple looping. It is a misinterpretation to call it cross-knit looping. Yeah, no, let's not do that then. But yeah, Coptic or cross-knit looping, that's what we're going to do next week. We'll learn how to do that. Rhonda says, I only know Oslo, Mammen, Dalby, and Dalarna. But if you take each one of those and you do that new connection you've learned now you know 5 more stitches.
I have a suspicion that knowing needle binding makes you actively worse in geography.
Yeah. No, there's no geography when it comes to it. It's a...
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, and then I saw Tomohiko, if I'm not saying the name right anyway, has played with a stitch that looks a bit like Dalby, but it's missing one loop. But because it's a 2-phase stitch, Sana has determined it's a Finnish stitch. That one we have to play with because that looked it had a really cool look to it anyway. So maybe
we found mitten
I'm gonna call it the Tomohiko stitch. So
made out of this stitch in Paris, France. Yeah. So we have decided to call it the Ålesund stitch, and it's obviously of the Russian family.
The Tomohiko's in Japan.
That's what you guys think. It's nuts.
So the beer's working, gluten or not. Yep, well, they figured it out. Anyway, so there you go. But yeah, if you have a stitch that you know and you just change the connection, it's a new stitch. It may or may not have a name.
But it will probably be in the Russian family no matter what you do.
Unless you're in the Finnish family. Or there's some that just don't have any family at all. They're turning stitches. Dalarna is one of those.
Okay, so Dalarna at least is not Russian. That's good to hear.
So Karl won't be learning to needle bind this week. Nilla says there's a whole family of turning stitches that are 2-phase stitches, which have nothing to do with Finnish. Yeah, that was because this one's done in the back loop first, so there's like a little bit going back and forth debate. Justin wants to call it in the Russian family with a 0 number filler because it doesn't actually. It's not a 3-phase; it's a 2-phase stitch. I just love it's like monkeys doing algebra.
You don't have to be Finnish to do needle binding, but it sure as hell helps.
No, but it's an interesting debate, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But basically, it's like Dalby, but with one less loop, so we'll have to look at that one too. Anyway, so I guess we call that the Japanese stitch now. It has nothing to do with a find in Japan, though, but no. I'm just messing with him now. I should go and feed him some gluten.
Dalby. If you take the word and you just deconstruct it, it means village town.
There's actually a town called Dalby.
So it could be everywhere in Scandinavia. It could be in Denmark.
No, but there's actually a Dalby in Sweden.
Yeah, it might be Swedish. It's perfectly fine. But from the name Dalby, you can't tell if it's Danish, Swedish, or Norwegian. It could be all 3 of them.
Now, listen, I usually call the...
Except that Denmark is so flat that they don't really have valleys, so...
Oh, I was watching this video on YouTube about these beautiful secret places in, or maybe little-known places or beautiful places in Denmark that you had to see. And I'm seeing these big cliffs. I'm like, what in the hell? Where did they find... I mean, there's not that much rock in it. Turns out they were also showing pictures from the Faroe Islands, which is part of Denmark.
Yeah, okay.
It's ruled by... It governs itself, but yeah.
Yes, and Greenland is also part of Denmark by that definition, so...
There you go. So that's where they were...
So maybe Denmark isn't so...
No, but they were just like these beautiful places you could see in Denmark in this intro, and I'm going, that doesn't look like Denmark, and I wasn't thinking. So there you go. No, I was gonna say Nella said she usually calls the turned two-face family Swedish, as many of them are from Sweden. I never thought of that.
A lot of two-faced people are from Sweden, that's true.
It's time for me to feed him some gluten. Okay, we're gonna go because we're on overtime anyway, but we'll come next week Saturday, same time, 6:30. So Raymond, bring your matchsticks, and we'll play with the Coptic stitch.
Okay, the Coptic switch.
And maybe we'll get him to pull a story out of his ass.
Obviously from Finland, where all the Coptics live.
Yeah, I want to hear the Draugr from Karl's ass story. We'll see you next week then. Bye bye.